What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you're here today. I'm excited that I'm here today. It has just been such a busy summer coming into the fall months that I have not had time to just sit and collect my thoughts and write down my goals and figure out how we want to end the year, how we want to start 2025. And I'm not just talking about HS, I'm talking about business. I just feel like this year has stretched me so much and I just don't even know where to start. We started the year off with a bang. I mean, we were going so viral in January. It was insane. It was actually insane. And so starting the year off that way, I had high expectations for the way I wanted my year to go. I knew I wanted to really lock in on social media this year. I knew I wanted to create more content about HS than I ever have before. I knew I had trips coming up that involved HS, and not only that, I had to move, I had to give birth, and we gave birth at home. I've been having insurance troubles, and it's just been so much. I think when it comes to like adult-wise, just like adult matters, this is the hardest I've ever adulted in a year, literally. We didn't get income tax this year. We had to pay income tax. Josh had to pay income tax. So then if he had to pay, I knew I probably had to pay because my income is not taxable not taxed at all throughout the whole entire year. I basically matched his income last year just from social media, which is a huge blessing, but I just wasn't ready for all of this shift. And then the middle class is just not the place to be, okay? It is not the class to be in. I got kicked off of insurance halfway through my pregnancy, not even halfway. I mean, I got kicked off in February 1st for not recertifying, even though I did recertify. And so with that happening, when it happened, at the time I gave birth, I didn't have any insurance, and I had already paid my fee of like my home birth fee. And so now they're like trying to say that I owe them $2,700, which I totally understand. They deserve to be compensated for their time. But it's just like, it was not an expected expense that I thought I would have to pay. And so I felt like I couldn't even talk about my home birth. I haven't even made a home birth vlog yet because I'm like, I just feel so ick talking about it when they are like still sending me invoices, and I'm just like, I'm trying to see if my insurance is going to pay for this. Not only that, I'm trying to see if my insurance is going to pay for my medication that I need. I have never even been on anything besides antibiotics for my HS, so getting to the point of knowing that I wanted to even be on a treatment for my HS was huge. So then I finally get to that point, finally go to the dermatologist, right? And now it's like all of these hoops between they don't want to cover my Humira and they want to cover, maybe cover the generic version of Humira. And I'm just like, I'm the type of person who I have not adulted enough in my lifetime for all of these problems to be coming up, okay? I very much so have been dealing with a lot of postpartum anxiety, so anytime something happens, I'm like, it's the end of the world, I don't know how to move forward. It's like, I just don't know how to get past the wall, and I feel like the last 5 months, like since having the baby, not even before then, I think before then I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, like before I gave birth. I just didn't have time to feel it because I knew I had other shit to do. I was like, I had to get this house ready. I have to like get in the mindset of like, I'm about to push this baby out at home with no pain medication. Like I knew I didn't have time to like freak out about other stuff. I was really just focusing on whether or not I was going to be able to do that. Thankfully, God carried me through that situation. But now that I'm on the other side of giving birth and postpartum, I'm just like struggling with how to achieve a routine, how to realistically stick to a routine, how to not get down on myself when I stray from my routine, all of those things, and feeling like I have to do so much in one day compared to other people, like I don't know if other moms struggle with that on social media. We get on social media and we see another mom post a vlog and we see all of the amazing things that they were able to get done that day, and then we look at what we did, and comparison is the thief of joy, and all of a sudden, instead of being like just in your moment and living your life. We're comparing ourselves to strangers on the internet and we're like, oh my gosh, well, I didn't make, my kids' chicken nuggets from scratch today. I must be a terrible mom. Or I didn't meal prep and I just don't have energy to cook. Or this is the second pizza night of the week. Or the laundry is piling up. Like, these are just things that have been going through my head every single day for like the last 2 months. I just feel like I cannot catch up. The kids just had a 4-day weekend, and instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, I get to enjoy this time with my kids, this is gonna be great, I was like stressed. I was like, they're gonna eat so much food, I'm gonna have to cook so many meals, like, oh my goodness, I should have meal prepped for this weekend. There's like so many snacks, all they want to do is eat snacks. And then it was the cleaning part, and it was like, the house is always gonna be like, the house is gonna be dirty. I'm never gonna catch up on laundry. Instead of like, I'm going through my days and I'm just picking apart what's going wrong instead of having gratitude for what's going right. And I am so tired of waking up and feeling like that. And I got baptized like a month and a half ago. And I know that you're not supposed to get baptized in hopes that God is going to give you something. But the way I was feeling, like the shackles that I felt were on my spirit, I needed to get baptized. And even though I did it for the right reasons, I was like fully expecting God to like take all of it away from me in that instant. Like, I expected to come out from that water and literally feel renewed and revived, and that didn't happen. And I was so disappointed when it didn't happen. But what it really took was more than me just getting baptized in water and saying, okay, I'm renewing my life for Jesus. It took the action of like me having to open up my Bible again and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable with where he's calling me to go and what he's calling me to do. And that's why I feel so just uneasy in this season, is because he's calling me to be more. He's calling me to do more. He's calling me to more. And if I feel so frustrated with right now, then why would he want to give me more if he knows that it's just going to be a burden to me? And so he's really just like calling me to straighten my stuff out and to get my things in alignment with him, because it shouldn't feel the way it's been feeling. And so I'm just really excited because I already feel lighter in a sense of like, I've been opening up my Bible more these last few weeks. I have been making sure, even if I don't go to church, which has been very realistic the last month, I don't think I haven't been to church physically in 4 weeks, which is like cringe and crazy. But I have been attending church online, which, no offense to the church that I go to in person, but my online church just has a special place in my heart. Something about the way it carried me through COVID, it brought me closer to God. It showed me in my weakest moments that I am capable of being strong. And it's really like the place where I learned that God wanted to use me for something bigger than what I was already doing in life. And so I just love that church so much, and being able to be back a part of their church, of like an online church that makes me feel so included, has been everything to me. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Rock City and Pastor Mike Jr. I know you've probably heard his songs because he's amazing, but the way he breaks down the scripture for me to understand and carry it through my week. Also, there's Devo Energy that comes on every single day, Monday through Friday. So you get to like feel yourself on the word daily instead of just on Sundays. And I think that is one thing that helps me so much, is because we can get so busy with all of those things that I've been mentioning, like getting kids to school, just the mundane routine of being a mom, that we forget to give ourselves to the Lord. And so waking up in the morning, even if I'm a little late and I got to catch the replay to Devo Energy, still making sure that I fill myself up on that word has helped me so much. And so I guess I just wanted to let you know that if you if you've been feeling like I have mentioned in the beginning of this video, just like uneasy, irritable, feeling like you just don't have enough time in the day, you're just crashing out. You're crashing out. Know that you're not alone, and that I think moms especially are just in the thick of that season right now. We're going into the thick of the holiday season. A lot of moms suffer from seasonal depression, and it's not because we want to, but I think it's a family dynamic kind of thing. We often, get on social media and we see all of these other families, the way they show up for each other, the way they spend their holidays, how they have traditions set in place. And it's easy to look back at your own life and think, why was I not worthy of having that? And I think for me personally, God is telling me that, like, you get the gift to create the magic now. You know what I mean? Like, I know you have your own heavy things that you're carrying from your childhood and you wish things would have been different, and you would have all these memories and things and traditions, but like, you get the magic to create that now, and there's such a heavy responsibility that comes with that, of course, but it's also such a reward, to be able to watch the looks on my children's faces when I get to show up for them in that way, for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, showing them what the true meaning behind these holidays mean. I decided this year I wasn't going to trick or treat, and that doesn't mean like I'm not going to let my kids trick or treat. I have brothers now who can take them around the block once or twice, but for me, I put that boundary down, not only as a mom with HS, and like, that's just something that I don't want to do. It's a lot of temptation. I just don't want to do it. I'd rather sit home and give out candy, or I just rather be home. So that's something that I'm going to do, but it doesn't mean I won't be able to create the magic for them and make sure that they get to bake the nice treats and have those memories with mom and do the coloring activities and the pumpkin painting and all of those things. And then for Thanksgiving is to show them what true gratitude is and what Thanksgiving means and why we celebrate it and how to get in the kitchen with mom and cook and learn her recipes and things like that. And then of course Christmas, the true meaning behind Christmas and what we celebrate it for and why it's important to give back around this season and to not judge others, and all of those, and that it's not just about gifts, but it's about Christ. And so I'm really, really excited. I think when I put it in that perspective, it makes me more happier about the holiday season than I ever have before, is that like, I really am the magic maker. Moms, we really are magic makers. We really do change lives, and that's just a heavy responsibility. So it's okay that if sometimes you're going through life and you're feeling the weight of that responsibility, it doesn't mean you're a bad mom, it doesn't mean you're a bad person, and it doesn't mean that you have to give up. It means maybe you have to take a little break. It's okay if every holiday season doesn't look the same, right? You are important, and you are so worthy, and you are changing the future and changing the lives of those little ones that you're raising. So give yourself grace. Give yourself grace, 100%. So I'm talking to myself at this point. What else do we want to talk about? Oh, just telling you guys all my problems, and I'm hoping somebody can help me fix them. So another thing that I've been running into lately is sibling drama, okay? The drama. My brothers fight like actual Bloods and Crips. Like they are oil and water. They just don't mix. And even though on the outside looking in, you would look at them and be like, you guys must be so close, huh? And I just cannot believe that in the last 2.5 months that they've been living with me, they've almost killed each other a few times. And it's like serious, almost killed each other. Like my brother, he called the cops on himself last week because he was like, I'm gonna kill him. And I was just like, listen, you have to remember that you are a black young man in America, and that, we gotta choose our language, right? And we should be calling the cops on ourselves. So it was very interesting, but they just have such big anger issues. And I mean, my husband is a little bit more stern to the fact that like they have to abide by our rules, and fighting in our house is disrespectful. They can't be scaring the kids. We just don't have that kind of violence. My parents had some DV issues growing up, so I really get triggered by fighting, like even just typical fight, like it could be a deserved fight, but I'll still be triggered by it and be like, oh my god, like, can we just like peace and love and happiness? And I get that that's not the way the world always works, but I'm just like physically, like, I don't understand why we have to put our hands on each other. So when my brothers get to that point, it's just so disappointing to me, because I'm like, we're literally like family, and you got so mad that you were willing to like punch somebody in the face. I just feel like we have to deal with our emotions in other ways. And with my brothers, it's really, really just so difficult because the trauma that they have walked through. I can't imagine the hurt that they feel walking through life, waking up every single morning knowing that, like, where's my mom? You know? And I know that they feel that really deeply because I'm 28 and I wake up and I feel that really deeply. Like, I wonder where my mom is today. I wonder if she misses us. I wonder, so many I wonders go through my head in that scenario. And so I often put myself in their shoes and I feel that hurt for them, and I know that they don't know how. I know they're misplacing it. I know they don't know how to manage it. And so I'm here to ask you, my besties on the internet, what are effective ways to help them walk through having an absent parent and having another parent who, I mean, I hate to be that way, but my dad's just not the healthiest parent to talk to. So when you feel like you have one parent who's completely absent, the other one, you can't really conversate about your emotions and your mental health struggles. I don't know what to do for them. And I know that I can be there for them and I can talk to them, but I also know that, like, sometimes it can be triggering for me. And I don't mean it in a, like, everything's about me kind of way, but sometimes I'm having a good day and I'm not thinking about my mom, like, by the grace of God, right? And it's like just hard when they're in the thick of feeling like shit and like wanting to ask all these questions, and I'm just like, oh, I don't know, because it triggers me and those emotions inside of me, and I get angry. Like, I'm to the point where I'm like, I don't have time to be sad about her absence anymore. At this point, I'm angry. Like, I'm at this, and I am a former, like, I don't even know the term. I've been addicted to drugs, okay? So I get it in a sense, but I got my life together because I knew my daughter needed me, and so I get super angry when I'm like, she got 6 kids? And you just think that, like, we're all okay without you? I just think that that's strange. And so the fact that she doesn't think that it's strange pisses me off. And when they need that comforting ear, I don't really have it for them because I'm so full of anger. So I know we all probably need therapy, but again, that's expensive, and that's like, it's just more things to do. And I hate to sound like that, but it's like we're in the thick of, like, everybody has a schedule and everybody needs to do this and we're doing this and I'm traveling and this and Josh is working. It's like we are already so busy. Like, imagine adding 3 extra therapy sessions on the schedule. I mean, maybe we can do some online therapy where they Zoom and we do it that way. Because I'm not trying to go sit on anybody's couch, and I don't think they want that kind of setting either. But if they just have somebody maybe to talk to. So if anybody has any recommendations on that, besides the obvious, like therapy, but like any tools that I can give them that will help. Or if you have a son or a brother or a nephew or somebody who walked through this kind of anger, please put some success stories in the comment section, okay? Tell me that it got better, that they're amazing husbands and gentlemen now, because I'm just like, you guys cannot act like this. You've got to control your anger. You've got to control your emotions, or else they will cost you. And depending on who you're with and at what age you are, it can cost you friendships, it could cost you money, it could cost you your freedom. Like, we gotta get it together. We gotta get together, fellas. We gotta get together now. And so that has just been something else. Something else that is on my plate that we're trying to work through and maneuver, while also just, you know, living life. So lastly, before we wrap this episode up, it's coming up on 19 minutes, so that's great. But I know everybody's going to ask us, like, how has your HS been doing with all this change? And it has been doing, okay? I've been dealing with quite a consistent flare area on my private area. And every time it gets better, it takes a turn for it to get worse. I could feel the tunneling, like, doing its thing eternally. So that's great. I probably need a de-roofing done, but at this point it's probably going to be a white excision, so I'm just trying to mentally prepare myself for that. Hoping that we get approved for some kind of medication soon. If not, it'll just be me and my magic healer, because I have 0 bandwidth left to fight an insurance company to give me a medication that I obviously need. So that's just not my fight to fight. If somebody who creates medication wants to sponsor me and give me the medication for free, I make the content. I'm just playing. Kind of. So that's just been me. I have been trying not to neglect my flare care because I'm just so tired at the end of the day that I know I'm not doing as good as I used to do. So just taking mental note of that and trying to do better. But just obviously knowing that I'm in a tough season right now, and that tough seasons cause stress, and stress causes flares, and flares make me start that cycle all over again. So just trying to be cautious of my mental capacity to care for myself and care for other people, and learning how to put boundaries up so that way I'm not always on empty, so I can pour back into myself. So that's where I'm at, and that's where life is at. And I hope that if anybody else is walking through some similar things, that you know that you're not alone. But I'm excited to just show up in this space, even though it's not perfect, even though I'm not living, you know, a glamorous influencer life per se. I'm living a realistic, I'm going through the real deal out here, okay? We're in the trenches of motherhood, and I think that it just needs to be talked about. And I'm excited that God is using me to talk about the things that I struggle with, to hopefully shed light to other moms to know that they're not alone. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And I hope it was beneficial to someone. That's what we're making content for now. Not for the 99, but we're making it for the 1. So if that was you, I hope it helped you. I hope it blessed you. And I love you guys so much.